Time for Cleared to Play. Take you inside the tent, get you updated on the latest injuries in the Bay. Proud to partner with UCSF Health on this segment, and here he is, Dr. Brian Feeley. Hey, Doc, what's going on?
Not much, guys. How are you?
We're good. What's your take on Kyle Harrison and an injured ankle doing box squats and immediately to the injured list? It's just a sprain, but seems to be a rather serious one.
You know, I think baseball has a long history of strange injuries. If you remember back, Matt Cain had a time where he injured himself making a sandwich in 2014. Will Smith, different Will Smith, but he played for the Brewers, tore his lateral collateral ligament taking his shoes off. So I think baseball takes the crown for strange injuries that just happen. Hopefully he gets back quickly. I can't imagine doing box squats. His ankle must have just rolled coming off the edge of the box or something. Hopefully he gets back relatively quickly, and they're just taking it easy on him so that he doesn't injure himself more.
Yeah, and also, kind of the positive side of it, I guess, is that it'll help to keep his innings down as the long year continues, but we'll see how long he's out there. Lamont Wade is hoping to come back from the hamstring injury. He was really aiming to play in Thursday's Rickwood game, but that may be a long shot now. How much is there a risk of re-injury if he does come back a little too soon?
Yeah, I think that's pretty well documented for any sport, but particularly in baseball. If you come back too soon, your rate of re-injury goes up, basically double, and then your length of time goes that you're going to be off goes up as well. So there was a good study that came out of New York about 4 years ago, and they looked at when people had recurrent hamstring injuries, instead of missing an average of about 2 to 3 weeks, they missed about 4 to 5 weeks with that recurrent injury. So it's really important to make sure he's completely pain-free before he goes back so he doesn't have that recurrent injury. So I think it's the right thing to be as conservative as possible.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. One thing I was wondering and has been thrown out there is, hey, instead of playing 9 innings, what if you just DH'd? Although I wonder if that's better. One, is there any difference between the movements at the plate and the movements in the field? But two, what about the idea of going out, having movement, and then sitting for 2 innings before you go out and do it again?
Yeah, I think there's certainly that, but I think the biggest thing is that the most common way people injure their hamstring is from base running, most commonly from home to first base. So the reality is the most risky thing is Wade gets a hit and sprints to first. So unless he's going to be a really bad DH, you either play him or don't play him.
Yeah, I pulled my hammy trying to go second to third in a over 50 softball league, but that's a story for another day, Doc.
I'm sure you were safe. No,
actually out by about 12 feet, and barely even made it to the bag. I limped, and I had to buy beers for the team. First guy to get hurt on the season. Can you help us with the difference between adductors and groin muscles? Because we saw Blake Snell on the pitch a couple weeks ago grab the groin area, but then we're told it's an adductor. What's the difference there, Doc?
There's no difference. It's just another way to say the same thing. So the groin muscles or adductor muscles are a sleeve of 4 muscles or 4 to 5 muscles, depending on how you want to turn them. There's the adductor brevis, adductor longus, and the very large adductor magnus, and there's also your gracilis. They all come off the front of your pubic bone, so the one that you can feel kind of deep in your groin, and then pull over to your femur. And they're all muscles that pull your leg inward. So classically, they're injured in hockey players and soccer players. So most of our information on these injuries come from hockey and soccer. They're relatively uncommon for baseball players. They only account for about 10 to 15% of lower extremity injuries for baseball players. But the people that get them are pitchers, and it's usually in their landing leg, just because of the amount of force it takes to land and then hold that position that all goes through those adductor or groin muscles.
Wow, that got really personal, really fast in there, Doc. That verbiage was not lost on everyone.
You had me at adductor magnus, Doc. I'll just say that.
There you go. I figured.
Thank you.
Did you say that? What was the next one? Gracilis or something like that?
Gracilis.
Gracilis. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be the gracilis guy if you want to be the magnus guy. That's fine. But if
you want, that's the throwaway one. So if you want to be that one, go for it.
Yeah, I'd like to throw away Blake Snell's first half right now. I'm totally fine with that. Is he going to pitch again soon? Can we get to that?
I think especially when you've had recurrent injuries, you got to go slow with it. And it's the second time in the same adductors. I think they're doing the right thing and being conservative and just go slow. It's a long season. They're still in play. We've got a lot of pitchers coming back for the second half of the year. And as we've seen time and again with the Giants, make it to the wild card game and see what happens after that.
Doc Feeley with us, cleared to play. Doc, take us into the Robbie Ray buildup. He is scheduled for another rehab appearance today. This is Tommy John UCL surgery that he's coming off of. But what are teams doing in this buildup process? Because he's obviously ready to pitch because he's pitching.
Yeah, so really what you're looking for in these rehab assignments is pain-free and good mechanics. So with these rehab assignments, you're looking to make sure that pitchers are able to get through their mechanics, feel good, feel confident, and be entirely pain-free through their entire kinetic chain. So as much as we worry about their elbow's been reconstructed. So we're looking at their shoulder, we're looking at their hip, their adductors, even their gracilis, to make sure that everything feels good all the way through. And with a rehab assignment, really what it is to make sure that they're getting through this, being absolutely pain-free, top to bottom. If there's any pain, back off for a few more weeks in a safe, controlled environment, and then be able to ramp back up where it's safe and they can be effective in ramping back up rather than being out in full competition.
Doc, great stuff, and good luck to both your Magnus and your gracilis. Thank you very much for the time.
All right, take care.
All right, there it is. That's Dr. Brian Feeley, and the proceeding was sponsored by UCSF Health.